Hello, my dear friends, my dear students. I welcome you to EduTap. Guys, today's lecture is quite an important and I would say different lecture. I'm not going to discuss about the study material. I'm not going to teach you something. Today, rather, I'm going to give you the learnings that you should note from the phase 2 of the NABARD Grade A examination. This post of Grade A Assistant Manager is a very important, I would say it's a very coveted post, okay? And the students who are preparing for regulatory body examinations like RBI grade B, SEBI grade A, they know that NABARD grade A is a very important post. So we'll discuss the learnings that we can take from this phase 2 of the examination, which can help you to be better prepared for the exam cycle of NABARD for next year and also for other regulatory body examinations, right? So before we proceed to the learnings, I'll just tell you a few important quick things that you must know if you have not given the paper this year. So phase 2 exam took place on 16th of November 2021. The paper was in two shifts, morning and evening. Morning shift was dedicated to English paper, then your afternoon shift or evening shift as we say was about your ESI plus ARD paper, right? Descriptive writing this year was introduced in paper 2. So in phase 2 earlier there was no descriptive writing for paper 2, that is ESI ARD. This time on the lines of RBI 50 marks descriptive writing was introduced, rest 50 was given to objective. Then there were few changes in the format of paper 1 also. Yeah, descriptive English. What were those changes? I think you know if you have appeared in the examination. If not, I'll tell you that there were 3 questions on English descriptive. Right. So a letter was asked this time and the word limit was also changed. So all those things I'm gonna discuss further in the video. Right. So guys, let's talk about the very first learning from this examination of phase 2 of NABARD. The learning is that you should not ignore ARD if you are going to appear in NABARD again, or if you are going to aspiring to appear in the NABARD grade A examination. Why? Very simple reason, guys. Agriculture rural development is considered to be a subject which is technical in nature if you do not have the background. Being a non-agri background student, it is considered that you will not understand, rather you will just go through, or you will cover up the most important topics of the ARD and not everything. But this time, guys, we saw in the paper that there was one mandatory question, compulsory question of 15 marks, that was on based on ARD static portion. Why am I emphasizing on static? That question had no relation with current affairs. Cross breeding was the question. I'll show you the question also, right? So this was the mandatory question. You could not leave this question, right? And not only this one mandatory question, there were other questions. There were 6 questions in descriptive paper. All the questions except one had relations with agriculture. That means if you prepared ARD well, if you have covered syllabus of ARD well, all descriptive questions somewhere could be answered through the ARD part. One, this is about descriptive. Second, if I talk about objective, guys, the descriptive paper was quite tilted towards ARD. In objective also, there were quite many questions, I would say around 10 marks were dedicated to ARD. Out of these 10 marks, 3 were static part, easy although they were, but 3 static questions, and rest I would say 5 to 7 marks were current affairs, advanced estimates, schemes, etc. So this means that you cannot ignore ARD anymore. It used to be ignored by the candidates who did not have the background, but it is high time now that you start preparing ARD really well. Okay, that will not only help you in phase 2 of the examination, objective plus descriptive. Let me remind you about phase 1. This year NABARD came up with this change in phase 1 paper where it made ESI, ARD and your GA as merit sections. That means ARD is gonna help you in phase 1 also. You have to get the merit score through this section. This is the first key takeaway from this phase 2 examination. Taking you to next. Acha, before we proceed, let me just show you few questions that I was telling you. So this cross breeding question was compulsory, see 15 marks. MSP reviewing was there, but don't you think it is also relevant to agriculture, because in your agriculture syllabus you read about MSP, guys. So this is related to ESI. We say that it is Reviewing of the minimum support price, how is it, why was it launched, what is it currently, what is its status, and how has it been beneficial, all these things, they are related to agri economy, we can say, right? So this WTO agreement was the question that was core economic question. Okay, this was not related to ARD, but please ensure that this was not a mandatory question. Your mandatory question is this crossbreeding one, right? Then if we talk about 10 markers, farmers' dependence on non-institutional sources of finance has been on decline. So this is again dependent on your agriculture. If you have read not only your chapters, but again your economy, your finances related to, we read about this also, non-institutional sources and all in agriculture, so that is also relevant. Okay, so economy, when you are reading, keep agriculture in mind, that is also quite relevant. Then see, what is drip irrigation? This was again a question which was directly your static part. So direct questions from your ARD static part have been taken here. Social forestry, you see, so these are the questions, guys. Social forestry is ARD static. These show you that it is high time you not only give emphasis on agriculture, but you also, while reading economy, keep agriculture in mind. One more thing I would like to tell you here, this should not means, by any means you should not feel that you can ignore ESI now, that you cannot do, right? Because the paper can change, but this just means that you cannot ignore ARD anymore. ESI you used to cover anyhow earlier also, it is considered very important. Now ARD is at par ESI. This does not mean that ARD is more important and ESI is not. This you have to keep it underlined. Okay, now I'll take you to next important learning, that is, guys, timeline of current affairs. Now why am I saying that timeline of current affairs is important? In previous years there was a trend of 4 to 6 months of current affairs, that if you read 4 to 6 months of current affairs before the examination, you are well prepared for your exam, right? Now what we are watching in the paper, what we are observing is that the timeline is being increased. The questions are being asked from 1 year before the examination. But let me just tell you that this 1 year before does not mean raw facts. ऐसा नहीं है, raw facts they are not at all asking, rather they are asking current affairs that were very important, that are related to your syllabus, that have brought some breakthrough change. They are being asked even if they were released 1 year before the examination. You want to see the examples? If you have appeared in the paper, you must know. If you haven't, it will be a reference for you. So new educational policy, guys, NEP 2020, 5 marks objective question was on this NEP. Banking Regulation Act, some changes were brought in the year 2020. That was asked. These changes were again related to some agriculture. So that was asked. Then flagship schemes, guys, they are not related to just 3-4 months. Flagship schemes are the ones which are old but still related to your syllabus. Major reports you have to cover. Latest agri estimates, these 2 points I have written here so as to make sure that you read these 4 to 6 months as well. So 4 to 6 months you have to cover, that is there is no change in that. Plus over and above it you have to cover most important current affairs from your previous years, right? Whatever topics are related to your syllabus and you see current affairs that are being mapped to those topics, you should cover them. NEP, such an important policy related to education. Banking Regulation Act, NABARD being a regulatory body, it is very important that you cover such things. But usually students who are not well versed, what they do is they will leave this part, that it is not in the 4 to 6 month cycle, but you have to understand it is related to syllabus and it's a breakthrough change, so you should cover it, right? Apart from that, one more thing I would like to highlight here, apart from timeline of current affairs, guys, flagship schemes are gonna be always important for NABARD. This time again, NABARD has shown that schemes which are old but have been in news because of their changes, because of their developments, or are related to your syllabus, you should cover, right? The static dimensions as well as the latest developments you should cover, right? Then guys, last not the least, be ready for surprise element. Why do I say it? Although the pattern changed, everyone was aware that pattern is gonna change. Descriptive paper is there in paper 2 now, but you did not know that there will be a mandatory question. So that was a surprise because there was nothing mentioned about mandatory question in descriptive paper. This was a surprise element, right? But you had to tackle it anyhow. You cannot leave the mandatory question. Second, let me talk about English paper. This time, upon my discussion with many students, I would say, I have got to know that English paper was easy. Why? Because the word limits were not high. You had to adhere to the word limit. Like essay, you had to write essay in 300 words, right? And the time allocated 90 minutes. In 90 minutes you could easily do your essay, then your précis was there, and then your letter writing was there, right? So you could easily do the questions in 90 minutes and also revise them. While last year, if you see, the English paper was difficult. People were saying, I spoke to the students and they were like, we could not complete our English paper. The essay word limits were 400. This time it was 300. So surprise element will also be there. If English paper was made easy, students were very happy that okay, I have done my English paper really well. In paper 2 they got to know that okay, lengthy questions were there in objective paper, so many statement based question and mandatory question. So something or the other surprise element will also always be there. What you have to do, just one thing, which will comprise many small things. Be oriented towards the examination, learn from the things that are being told by us, by other guides to you, and try to implement and focus on syllabus, focus on the pattern of the examination, and be well versed that okay, I am prepared for the examination. It is a relative competition. If it is difficult for me, it is difficult for others also. I just have to give my best. That is the thing that is to be done by you, right? So quickly summarizing the 3 key learnings from this examination. Do not ignore ARD part. Again, I am saying this does not mean that you start ignoring ESI. Just bring ARD at par with ESI. Be it current affairs, be it static, you should cover it. Timeline of current affairs we have discussed. Cover 4 to 6 months really well, right? But give due importance to the old current affairs also, which are related to your syllabus. You should have this capability to identify that this current affair is important, right? Then be ready for the surprise element. This is not in your control, but directly it is not in your control, but if you are controlling your other preparation parameters, then this is also in your control, right? Thank you so much for your time. I hope you find this video useful. Let me know in the comments below how did you like it. Thank you for your precious time. Bye bye. Wishing you all the very best for your results and your upcoming examination.